crack of a knee hitting her face echoed through the gym. Then silence, as a single drop of blood hit the floor and everyone froze. The sound of a knee slamming into her face echoed through the gym. Then silence. Blood hit the floor, and every laugh died midair. The gym fell silent. Blood pooled beneath the new girl's chin, a small red dot spreading across the polished floor. She didn't cry, didn't move, just stared up at the boy towering over her, his knee still hanging in the air from where it had struck her face. The others froze, laughter dying in their throats. She wiped the blood with the back of her hand, her dark eyes unblinking, her breath steady. No one spoke, because in that quiet they saw something they couldn't explain. Not fear, not pain, but power. None of them knew who she really was, and that was their first mistake. Ava Johnson had walked into Lincoln High with nothing but a backpack, a transfer slip, and a name that no one recognized. Her family had just moved from Atlanta, her father a retired Marine sergeant, her mother a nurse who worked night shifts. They'd settled in this quiet suburban town hoping for peace, but the first thing Ava noticed was the silence that followed her through the halls. She wasn't loud, she wasn't shy, just steady. Her teachers saw discipline, her classmates saw difference. By the second week, whispers followed her like a shadow. The word new girl turned into black girl. The tone changed, jokes disguised as curiosity, smiles laced with pity. In gym class, things got worse. The basketball team's captain, Logan Pierce, ruled the court, tall, popular, untouchable. When Ava outpaced him during sprints, the teasing started. When she blocked his shot, the laughter turned to hostility. He didn't like being shown up, especially not by someone like her. Ava ignored it. She'd been trained to. Her father taught her restraint, how to stay calm under pressure, how to move with purpose, how to control her strength. But some people mistake control for weakness. That's where the story began to turn. By Friday, someone had carved a word into her locker. Outsider. She brushed it off. She'd faced worse before. But in Lincoln High, silence could be crueler than insults. Teachers looked away. Classmates whispered, recording her when she walked by. It was during gym class that week when the line finally broke. Coach Davis had set up self-defense drills, pairs practicing controlled takedowns on mats. When Ava's name was called, the coach paired her with Logan. The room buzzed with anticipation. The golden boy against the new girl. "Go easy," someone whispered. Logan smirked. Ava stood still, arms at her sides, eyes focused, breathing steady. Her father had taught her discipline, that true strength didn't come from striking first. The coach blew the whistle. Logan lunged, too fast, too careless. Ava sidestepped, redirected him easily. The class laughed. He stumbled, his pride more bruised than his body. Then the laughter stopped. Logan's eyes darkened. He charged again, this time harder, angrier. Ava tried to block him, but he swept her leg. As she hit the mat, his knee came down, straight to her face. A gasp rippled through the room. The sound was sickening, the sharp crack of bone meeting flesh. She didn't scream, she just lay there, her vision spinning, the taste of iron flooding her mouth. The coach froze, unsure whether to step in. The students stood motionless, phones raised, eyes wide. Ava pushed herself up slowly, blood dripping from her nose. For a second, her mind flashed back, her father's voice echoing. Pain is temporary, dignity isn't. She stood tall, her posture perfect, her breathing calm. No one spoke, because in that quiet they saw something they couldn't explain. Not fear, not pain, but power. None of them knew who she really was, and that was their first mistake. The next morning, the video was everywhere. The new girl, bloodied but unshaken, standing tall while her attacker hid behind his teammates. The clip spread faster than wildfire. What no one knew was the truth behind that composure. Ava wasn't just a Marine's daughter. She was the youngest participant ever to complete the Junior Cadet Survival Program, trained in endurance, self-defense, and leadership under stress. She'd spent summers running drills, crawling under barbed wire, learning to disarm grown men. When the principal called her to the office, she expected blame. Instead, she found reporters waiting outside. The story had gone viral. Parents demanded answers. The school tried to control the narrative, but the footage spoke louder than words. Logan was suspended. Coach Davis was reprimanded for not intervening sooner. And Ava, the new girl who everyone ignored, became the face of strength under pressure. But she didn't want fame. She just wanted respect. Days later, when Logan saw her again, he couldn't meet her eyes. Because deep down he knew the girl he'd tried to humiliate had shown more courage than he ever would. And the silence that followed wasn't pity anymore. It was reverence. Weeks passed. Ava sat in the bleachers one afternoon, watching the team practice. The same boys who had laughed that day now trained harder, quieter. The school's walls no longer echoed with whispers, just the sound of sneakers against the court and the memory of what they'd witnessed. Change came slowly. Some apologized, most didn't. But Ava didn't need their words. She'd already proven who she was. When the semester ended, she received a letter from the local Veterans Association honoring her for her composure and resilience. Her father framed it on the living room wall, not for recognition, but as a reminder that integrity means standing tall when the world tries to knock you down. Ava never mentioned the incident again. She didn't have to, because the look in people's eyes had changed from judgment to respect. As graduation approached, the same gym where she'd once bled became the stage where she received her honors medal. The crowd standing, applauding. Ava smiled, not for revenge, but for peace, because she knew something they didn't. Pain passes, truth stays. Sometimes the strongest people aren't the ones who fight back, but the ones who rise, steady and unbroken, while the world watches. Would you have stood up for her or stayed silent, too?